Hello and welcome to Intermain Gaming. Today we are reviewing Deep Silver and Volition's Saints Row the Third Remastered on PlayStation 4. The copy that we're playing we were sent for review, so very big thanks to the developers and publishers for that. I'm going to kick this off very basically going to talk the positives, the not so positives, and the just unforgivable. So let's start with the positives. Presentation in the game. For a game originally released in 2011, the graphical overhaul is actually quite nice. It strikes a decent first impression. Textures, lighting effects, that kind of thing. It's obviously still very much a game from its original time. It doesn't feel like a PS4 game particularly, but they've made an effort to try and make it look a little bit more like one, and there are some nice effects throughout, despite the game showing its age a little bit in places. Second thing, set pieces. Set pieces and cutscenes in this game are as hilarious and over the top as ever. Thoroughly enjoyable to play and watch. Particularly just the over-the-top nature of them. It feels like they belong within something like a Fast and Furious movie. They're just so wacky and over-the-top, which is, I think, is a great thing, even today. I mean, look, ridiculousness of these cutscenes. Just wonderful ideas that are just bonkers. And there's full of them. You know, it's not. This is just. This is one very early in the game if you've not played it before. But the game's got a wacky sense of humour, and it doesn't mind wearing it on its sleeve there, which I really liked. Another thing I think is really good is the customization of your character. Now that's something that's been a fair staple of the Saints Row franchise for a while. One of the things that I really like is that kind of everything is available to everybody. So after you've decided whether you're going to play as male or female, if you're going to be Caucasian, Black, Asian, whatever you want to be, that's absolutely fine, taken care of. And then there's all the hair options, clothing options, and none of it is locked behind your gender or your race or anything like that. So if you want to play as a big black man wearing his badass gangster hoodie, but then you want to put him in a pair of shiny pink heels, that's absolutely an option for you. And I think that's really good for a game in 2011 to be able to be that progressive inside of all of its kind of over-the-top wackiness. Is a good thing, and I think even today still there's a lot of games that wouldn't do that. So I think that definitely deserves some credit. So there we go, strutting our stuff in the street with our pink heels. Now there are some not so good things that kind of noticed about Saints Row the Third Remastered quite early on when we played as well. And one of the things that I think is just a sign of its era more so than anything else is the fact that it's very much a cover shooter, third-person cover shooter, in the vein of a Grand Theft Auto or something like that, but there is no cover mechanic. You know, this is where the game really starts showing its age. There is no cover mechanic. You can stand behind a wall, you can stand behind a box, but you can't crouch down and hide behind it. You can't tuck in behind cover and shoot round walls or anything like that. However, that's also not a huge problem because it does feel that most of the time you're virtually invulnerable. I'm one guy with a machine gun taking on an army, and at no point did I really feel in any kind of danger. More at danger for my own bad driving than anything else. So again, that sense of peril that you can get from some games when you feel like you're overwhelmed, not really an issue here. Another thing as well is the driving mechanics have not really been improved at all. Here I am strutting the streets on my motorbike, and it's awkward and clunky and feels out of date to the point that when I then step into a car with its back tyre shot out, I couldn't really notice the difference. Like, I didn't feel like my driving was any more impaired than it already was, just from kind of poor physics. Which is a real shame because that's something that probably, introducing a cover mechanic would have been difficult, but tweaking the driving and tightening that up doesn't feel like it would have been that hard, and it really is not. And that's not the worst of it. Here, I tried to get into a car, press triangle, nothing happens, press again, takes a step forward, nothing happens, press it again. Now we get a door open, he doesn't get in, fair enough, I'm on the wrong side of the car. Okay, British player, fair enough. Again, but then he stands by it, my partner gets knocked over, and finally now I'm into the car. These are things that just shouldn't be allowed in a game today. This should have all been sorted out long ago. This is where it really looks and starts to feel like a 2011 game. So points for effort on the graphics. Still great fun, but not a 2020 game. Intermin Gaming gives it 6 out of 10.